Alright, what's up, y'all? This is Blaqamore. Today we about to talk about Bitcoin. I actually wanted to put this out about a week ago, but I've been too busy running around, studying and all of that. But so yeah, we're talking about Bitcoin. The two main questions I always hear and get and see about Bitcoin is what is Bitcoin and is it too late to invest in Bitcoin? Or should you invest in Bitcoin in the first place? So first, let's answer the what is Bitcoin. And to answer that, I have to take y'all through a history lesson on money, so we can gain perspective. So, in the beginning, the economy was more off of the barter system. You just trade whatever you have for whatever you needed. If you got some cattle and you need some salt or some spices or something like that, you go off for the trade. If they needed the cattle, boom, that was the tender. That's how people did it. Fast forward, people started using gold and silver coins for the actual money, so you didn't have to. It did that because it was easier to carry, so you didn't have to worry about necessarily trading things because the gold and silver could be worth, whatever it is that you needed, and it's much easier than carrying gold and silver coins with you than it is to carry a bunch of cattle with you or whatever else you was trying to get off, right? So, fast forward even further, banks pop up, central banks pop up. They tell the people, yo, we can hold your money for you, safe and secure over here. You ain't gotta worry about niggas coming up on you to rob you, none of that. Just deposit it in our bank. They may have even paid interest on it back then, I'm not sure. So people did that. And then how the banks would make their money is they would, take this person's gold and silver and then lend it to somebody else for some business or whatever they needed a loan for and charge them interest, and they'll make their money on a spread like that. Eventually, banks got a little greedy, started, because what they would do is after a while they didn't even lend out, they didn't give you back gold and silver. So if you put your money in the bank, or you put your gold and silver in the bank, excuse me, and then you come to the bank later, like, yo, I need an ounce of my gold for whatever reason, they would just write you a banknote, like a receipt or like a bill saying like the bank, like this is good for an ounce of gold. You put an ounce of gold in the bank owes you an ounce of gold. They just gave you the paper. People started using the paper because that was easier to carry than it was all the coins. And then we got so used to that, and that you have what we have today, the US dollar or any other paper currency in the world. That's where that derived from, right? So, it used to be backed by the gold. Now it's not backed by the gold. And, the central banks or feds, whoever, they could just print money unlimited without it being backed by anything. And that's why the dollar is valued today. But that's a whole nother subject. We're getting off track. So, that's the history, right? So now, fast forward to today, where we have this wonderful thing called the internet. A lot of things take place on the internet. A lot of us live our whole lives on the internet. We've devolved ourselves into two-dimensional beings. But but we don't want to get into that either. Basically, Bitcoin is like the currency for that. Because when we're using the money that we have today, if I want to send somebody some money via internet to another country for whatever the reason may be, number one, it's going to take days, maybe weeks for it to process. Number two, I'm going to have to pay a third-party processing fee. Number three, the feds might be looking to see what I got going on, especially if it's like a large amount. It's like a limit to how much you can send and all of that. With Bitcoin, I could send somebody $40 million right now if I wanted to over in India. Click something, boom, they got it instantly. No third-party fee, no transaction fee, no waiting, no none of that. It just instantly happens. Okay? And it's encrypted, so there's no paper trail of your transactions of what you've been buying and selling with this cryptocurrency, which we call Bitcoin. And there's other cryptocurrencies too, but Bitcoin's the most popular, so that's what we're speaking on. So that leads us to the question, if Bitcoin is worth investing in. Well, I say don't look at it like, at least I don't. I won't look at it like that. I would just look at it for what it is, which is a currency. Outside of Forex traders, people don't typically say, you know, I'm a invest in the dollar because the dollar is going to be worth so much more 10 years from now, or I'm going to invest in the euro because it's going to be worth so much more at this point in time. Forex traders do that, but even then they do it more short term, as opposed to years from now. It's a currency. You know, if you're in America, you got dollars. If you're going down to Mexico, you're going to trade your dollars in for some pesos because that's what they use down there. If you're going to Europe, you're going to trade your dollars in for some euros because that's what they use up there. So if you're on the internet in that world, trade your dollars in for some bitcoins because that's what y'all going to do in that world. Okay? Now, it's still growing a little bit, so it's not, you know, it's not like Amazon is taking Bitcoin, at least not yet. But they have incentive to. Everybody has incentive to because, like I say, it's encrypted. Since it's encrypted, it can't be taxed. It's decentralized, so it can't be taxed. So it's not like, you know, like the central bank. They print all of our money. They print all the money in America and 3 other countries. I think like the UK, Japan, and somewhere else. And then other countries got their own other little central banks too, and they control the currency in those respective countries, right? Bitcoin is decentralized. It's everybody. It's like peer-to-peer currency creation and transactions. Just like how we don't have to depend on like a taxi company no more to give us rides. We have Uber. We give each other rides as long as we license. Same thing with like Airbnb. You don't have to check in at the Holiday Inn hotel. You know, you can use my crib through the Airbnb platform. That's how Bitcoin is, except with money. There's no one building. There's no one business. There's no one. It's not even one server. Like, just selected people across the world mine it for us. Now, everybody could mine it. Just like back in the day, everybody could mine and discover gold, but everybody didn't. We just let those who do that, and then we earn it how we earn it, and we just get to it how we get to it. So that's the same how we treating Bitcoin, right? Now, of course, so in the way it was set up to where no more than 21 million Bitcoins can be made or mined or whatever. So once the 21st millionth Bitcoin is mined, that'll be all the Bitcoins in existence to circulate, okay? So, as far as it, because I'm getting to is it a good thing to invest in? Even though I wouldn't look at it like that, I look at it as a currency. But this is still important, I think. Even though this is a theory. Because this is just what I would do. I'm not saying this is what's happening. This is just what Blaqamore would do. If I was a central bank and I see this decentralized currency and gaining all this momentum, which is taking away from my power, and I done tried to discredit it already, and you know people are still messing with it. I can't tax you from the money because I don't even know who's getting it, where it's going on, none of that. It's putting disruption in my life and how things is going. What might I do to stop that, or at least try to slow it down? What I personally would do, I have the ability to print money at will. This Bitcoin shit is finite. No more than 21 million can be made. Why does this matter? Even like dealing with stocks, you have certain type of penny stock traders who only deal with what you would call a low float stocks. Or not even just penny stock traders, sometimes traders in general, but they will have what you call low float stocks, meaning that is not as many shares in the company available for buying or selling as opposed to most companies. And the reason why is because once the demand is in that company, like once people want to buy into that stock of that company that doesn't have as many shares, the price will go up way faster than if another company with the same demand had more shares available for sale. It goes back to supply and demand. There's more supply to meet that demand, so the price doesn't go up as much. Same thing if they want to sell it, price don't go down as fast. But when it's not as much supply, when it gets in demand, it goes up quicker. When people get scared of it, it goes down quicker. So with that being said, I have unlimited amount of my money. This Bitcoin shit is limited. I'm going to take my unlimited money and I'm going to buy up the grip of Bitcoin. It's going to jack the price up, jack it up high as hell. And then after a while, I'll just sell it all back and it'll make the price go down fast as hell. And then I might do it again if necessary. And I'll do this as I flood the press with negativity about the Bitcoin. They're just doing what I can. At least that'll be my first move. Now, it's funny because I said that's what I would do, and I went and I checked the chart of Bitcoin, of how the price, what the price has been over the past few years. A few years ago, it was only like $2 and some change. Today, it's over $4,000. I'm not saying that's what's happening. I'm just saying what I would do and what it looked like was happening. Okay? Now, ooh, excuse me. So I say that to say it may be unstable because of that price manipulation alone. It's easily to be manipulated. They have the means to manipulate it. They have the motive to manipulate it, and they have the opportunity to manipulate it. Because, like I said, it's all encrypted, so we wouldn't know what's going on anyway. So, I would, like me personally, I'm gonna buy Bitcoin, but I'm gonna use Bitcoin for Bitcoin shit. I'm not buying Bitcoin in hopes of making money. If it happens to become worth more tomorrow than it was today, that's cool, but that's not what I bought it for. If it happens to tank tomorrow and it's worth less tomorrow than what it is today, that's cool, because that's not what I got it for. At the end of the day, whatever I'm buying with that Bitcoin, if somebody's selling something for 1/10 of a Bitcoin, that is going to stay the same regardless of what's happening in relation to the dollar. Just like the dollar and the euro. Sometimes the euro's worth more, or it becomes more valuable compared to the dollar, and vice versa, right? But it's a damn dollar cheeseburger on the Wendy's menu. No matter what the euro's doing in relation to the dollar, that cheeseburger is still $1. And if you're in America, it's gonna cost you that $1 regardless, no matter what. The euro could become worth 10 times more than a dollar. That cheeseburger is still gonna cost you $1 American dollar. So I say that to say, so if you fuck with Bitcoin, just fuck with Bitcoin shit. Like, and that's kind of, it's the new wave, especially with this blockchain technology and all of that. And that's a whole nother video. It's crazy. So, but anyway, I already explained to y'all what Bitcoin is. It's a cryptocurrency. There's other cryptocurrencies too, but Bitcoin is the most popular. As far as it being too late to invest in, I wouldn't invest in it. I would just use it for what it's to be used for. And that's my 2 cents on that. So I'll check y'all in a minute. Make sure y'all like and subscribe to this video. Any questions or concerns or whatever, send me an email, newblackwallstreet@gmail.com. Check y'all on the next one.